question deals with economic principles. Number 3, what does the entrepreneur do? Number 4 is concerned with the circular flow of income. Remember that big diagram where you have product and factor markets?
Circular flow.
It's a question related to that circular flow. Number 5 is about the demand curve. Okay, question number 6 has to do with market equilibrium, which is on page 54 in your textbook.
6.
Yeah. We're looking at the market equilibrium on page 54. Would somebody read what the equilibrium quantity is?
Quantity demanded, quantity supplied, equilibrium price. and
Yeah.
competitive market.
So the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. So that's where you have an equilibrium in the market, as number 6. Number 7. You do not have to calculate the elasticity, but you need to know the definition of price elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand.
Peanut butter and jelly one?
Well,
I know that was a
no, that was
compliment.
compliments. Price elasticity means if they change the price of Starbucks out here, how will that change quantity demanded? So it's a question related to the price elasticity of demand. Question number 8. Question number 8 has to do with question number 8 has to do with the relationship between price elasticity and total revenue. And that's on page 120 in your textbook. The relationship between price elasticity, page 120, and total revenue. That's on page 120. Questions 9 and 10 have to do with utility. Total utility, marginal utility, and 11 too. The 3 of them are concerned with utility. The concept of total utility, marginal utility, consumer equilibrium. Those 3 questions refer to utility. Question number 12 has to do with cost. You've got total cost, average variable, average fixed. we've got total cost curves and unit cost curves. You have at least 4 questions related to market structure. Market structure, for example. You may have, I may give you a scenario. You know, like if I said that there's only one producer in the industry, which market structure is this? That's not a question, but it's gonna be similar to that. I'm gonna give you a setup and you have to tell me which one of the 4 so study those 4 market structures, which are in the beginning of chapter.
Right.
Chapter 10 or 9?
9, beginning of chapter 9 on page 177.
So this is 13 through what?
So page 177 gives you the characteristics of the different market structures. But then you will also need to know how they maximize profit, which happens to be the same for all models, marginal revenue is marginal cost. And I could ask you about operating in the short run, where price has to cover average variable costs.
Is that still part of 13, 14?
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 questions related to market structure. Okay, another question, now we're in, to answer Erica's question. All of the rest of the questions come from the last chapters, okay? So you've got a chapter talking about the demand for a resource. What determines the demand for a resource?
What number is this? I'm sorry.
17, I guess would be.
How does a firm determine how much of a resource to use? How does the firm determine how much of a resource to use? Chapter 13, we're looking at wages. Chapter 13 has to do demand for labor, supply of labor. On page 272, or really it starts on page 271, page 271, factors that affect the general level of wages. Page 271. Factors affecting the general level of wages. Erica, you look confused. We've got productivity, capital,
I was just looking for the
technology,
headline.
wages, all those things.
What general rate? Would be negative.
Got a question on,
That affect general level wages. I can't read
what
my
determines the
transcription.
interest rate? What determines the interest rate?
Is it gonna be along the lines of the supply
Yep.
of money?
Mm-hmm. Which would be,
Not what it's based on.
Supply of money versus the demand.
not what it's based on, but yeah, how page 300. That determines the interest rate. The variable funds due to interest. Okay, question number 21 is a question for the nominal versus real wages. Okay, also in chapter 14, we're looking at what on page 297? What is economic rent? What is economic rent? And page 299, some differences in rent. In other words, why are there differences in rent?
Is that the same question or different?
They're kind of together. Also in this chapter, we're looking at, they've already mentioned annual funds, page 302, the time value of money. What's the difference between the future value and the present value on page 302? Page 302. Difference between present value and future value.
You can get into detail with net present value or.
Yeah, it could be either one. Chapter 20, we're looking at income inequality. How do we measure income inequality? How do we measure income inequality? And on page 11, we've got the Lorenz curve and the Gini ratio. Know what they mean, okay?
On page what, I'm sorry?
On
411.
page 411. You've got the Lorenz curve
The what curve?
and the Gini ratio, so make sure you know what they are, okay? And beginning on page 413, this could also be a multiple choice question. In other words, some factors that are causing income inequality. We really didn't